I have no idea if we're live. Apparently we're live. I have no idea. I don't have my other phone to test this, so let's see how it goes. If you're here, I can't hear or see anybody, so this is just purely for science experiment while I paint some shit. So enjoy or don't. I might have to run. I'm gonna probably check this out later. I can't see your comments. I can't see your tips. Surprise me. Have fun. Because we're just teasing Finn at this point. I tried to open it up in the mobile app, and I totally couldn't. And so I figured I'd try some workarounds, and it appears that we're live, and that's very interesting to me. We've been live for a minute now, and I'm gonna paint while I talk. I'm doing some Warhammer, and it's my little tech marine that I have to add a little bit of highlighting to. So I figured just a little project after dinner while I let my dinner settle. But welcome. This is Abstract, and we are abstracting from a mobile device at the moment, and that's pretty cool. Can't complain. If this works, I'm gonna fully push for this to be a normal thing. I had to do a little bit of funny workaround to make this happen, but I will probably do a video on how I did this. But again, I can't see the chat. I can't see the tips. Surprise me. I would love to see them later, but no urgency or rush. I'm gonna be sitting here talking to myself a little bit about Abstract, what I've experienced so far, and what I'd like to see changed. I know it's a little early, like day one, already got a laundry list of things to, add to the platform. I think that's a little rude, but it's all in the spirit of like making a product better, right? So I guess to start, hi, I'm Maddox. You may know me from such projects as Lizard Labs, owned other places, games you might have been playing, I might have tested in them. I'm all over Web3, and I love Web3 games. And I've been in the space for, like I said, I can't see anybody, so I'm just going to literally be talking to myself. And if I could record this, probably be even better. So we'll just chalk it up to practice. But I've been in the space since 2018, 19. I started day trading, but at night. I was working in a correctional facility, and it's a weird one, but I was finding myself working night shifts with nothing to do, and that is freaking red on there, man. I don't know if I did a good idea. I don't know if this was a good idea or not, but we got to go with it now. So I was I was finding myself in the middle of the night with nothing to do, and somebody was like, hey, I do this whole crypto-y thing, and I was like, cool, I want to do this crypto-y thing too. How do I do it? And they were like, well, if you're gonna, just don't go in without a ledger. So I went and bought myself a ledger, and I learned about Bitcoin and Litecoin, and I don't know if Ethereum. I dabbled in some of the older ones, and it was all peer-to-peer trading, and then there was marketplaces and stuff to dive into. It wasn't a lot. It was pretty much if you weren't using it to buy drugs on the internet, people weren't messing around with crypto too much, and it was all just a hobby to see if I could make number go up. And sorry, we're making these really fine extra red lines, and it's tricky business. So it was just something to do in the middle of the night. And so I started doing that, and I never really won this whole game we call crypto. And but hey, it was tried for a couple months, and I wanted to see how far I could go. Well, I lost a lot of money until I had $40 in a wallet somewhere, and I said, yeah, maybe I'm not so good at this whole crypto-y tradey thing. Maybe I just let it go for now. So I put it away, put the wallet away, stopped bringing it to work, and then forgot about it for quite a bit, and then I got fast forward like a little bit, because I think that was 2018. Fast forward to like mid 19. I started finding out about NFTs, and it was just like shitty Solana PFP projects at the time. This was before shitcoins on Solana. This was just derivatives of like actual NFTs that were doing something. So like they'd take like a CryptoPunk, and instead of looking right, it would look left. They did that with everything, called it derivatives. And I got sucked into a couple communities that were doing that, and I learned how to work in communities as a moderator. And I was involved in three different projects that all ended up rugging. Not that I was part of the rug, but I was a part of the community like team. So like when you stop hearing from a project and all the moderators are just like, oh, soon it'll happen, don't worry. Like I was stuck with being that guy without having any actual like one of the founders just like made so much money he like gave up. He like didn't know what to do, and he freaked out and was like, here's the recovery phrase, like, I can't do this anymore, and he just dipset. He was gone. And we were all like, oh. It was crazy, dude. And so all the promises the founder had made, fucking blown. And by the way, guys, if you're chatting, I'm just going to keep mentioning this every few minutes, but like if you're chatting, if you're checking this out, if you're watching me right now, I'm on my phone. Okay, I'm doing abstract from my phone because I found a way to do it, and I'll share it with you later. But if you like listening to this story, drop me a tip. I can't read your comments right now because I don't know how to switch between the two apps without closing out the stream. If I'm even still streaming, I don't know if it's working, but we're trying. And if I'm here, hello. And if you're able to listen to this story and you're enjoying yourself, drop a tip. You can't follow me or like me. That's on my notes for Finn. It's my notes for the team. But I am enjoying just sitting here and painting with you guys. So we're just trying something to see how it works. But we'll find out later if it actually happened. But yeah, thanks for chiming in. Okay, we are putting a little bit of red highlight on this red fella, and it's going okay. Now, where was I? So we three projects very similar in how it ended, but it was like founder either dipped and like left us with all the rummage of the community waste, or like what else happened? Another dude just outright rugged everybody and was like, well, that's what you get. Sucks to suck, and then just dipped and left us with the community to answer, and to answer for the community, and that was terrible. I have that experience, for good or for bad, whatever you want to call it, because I don't know, it's shown me what not to do in a community, and I've learned from it. But okay, so where does that go? How did I stick around here if that was my experience, right? So then I ended up, I was bouncing around some shitty NFT projects, and then somewhere in my, tracking, I learned about the sandbox and this concept of user-generated content and being able to like build game assets for a game and potentially like build out experiences and get paid for your assets. And it was all voxel art, so I was like, I could do that. Well, I didn't know if I could or not, but I definitely was willing to give it a try, and so I did. I jumped into a contest, and I actually didn't win, but I placed pretty high, like top 10 or something, and I just enjoyed myself. The prompt was like, create an asset for an underwater scene, and don't, like it can be pretty much any underwater monster. So a lot of people were doing like octopus and like shark and like things of that nature. Well, instead of like going like simple, I was like, it's a underwater monster. So I did Cthulhu, like just go big, go home kind of situation. And I was brave enough to like stream it, the whole thing. And so I very quickly kind of started an adventure, about a week of streaming this online for everybody to see, a voxel art like Learn With Me stream, and it was an art stream. And somebody from the Sandbox team hopped on and was giving me pointers, and then quickly became my co-host. And we did that for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. And I loved that stream so much because it was flooded with people who were like, oh, I could never do that. That's so amazing. How do you do that, Maddox? Like, I would love to be able to do that. And I was like, cool, like download VoxEdit and like learn to press buttons and learn Control Z, and like just be willing to make mistakes was the whole premise of the entire stream. Like, just try some shit new you've never done before and see where it takes you, And so, yeah, that was a wonderful little, whoop, that's a very tiny toe. That was my start in Web3 gaming. I did commission pieces. I did I did experiences for people. I did my own games. I competed in game jams. The whole premise of the stream was just like entering contests and participating in the space, and that grew me closer to that community pretty good. And I really appreciated that a lot, because I learned a lot about game development. I learned a lot about contests and what it takes to be in certain things like that. What a good contest looks like, what a bad one, what it feels like to be, rocked on the, judges panel, and like, if they do things wrong. And either way, it prepped me for what I do today, which is, I'm a event coordinator for Lizard Labs, community lead and event coordinator. And I've really tried to bring a lot of those experiences to anything competitive we hold, just making sure that it's 100% fair, fun and competitive, to really bring out the best of people in a competitive setting. And, it's so important. Like, people want to whip together tournaments and competitions and leaderboards and all sorts of stuff, like all the time. And the problem with it is it turns into a bloodbath of people who are feeling like shafted, or this was unfair, or I should have been higher on the leaderboard, and I should have made more money than so-and-so because I did blah, 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 blah. It loses the spirit of, like, people actually, like, contributing something cool for, their own personal gain through experience, but then also, like, I guess, like, it's you can't always be creative in gaming, sure, but, like, you can be creative in how you present your tournaments, and like how you keep it exciting and engaging. I think that's always important. So, anything like that, I just try to think back. It's not my only experience. We did, I worked a lot of other jobs while trying to learn how to work in Web3, and some of it was. We worked at owned.gg for a little bit, and we did a really big undertaking of, and that's a really tiny corner. Okay. We did a really big undertaking of, in 2.5 months, we put on 34 concurrent tournaments, for over $1 million worth of partner rewards. Now, like, that sounds, ambitious as it starts, but, like, it was. But it's also, like, what a sink-or-swim situation to be tracking that many activities across many users at the same time, while having never done anything like that before. Holy fuck, what a cool experience of like building a plane while it's flying. Because nobody was there to tell me how to do that. It was just like, this is our mission, this is what we want to do, and good luck. Like, make it happen. This is our ambition, and you're gonna help facilitate it. And I was like, okay. And we did it so many times the wrong way. We got fucked on our tournament team in the middle of the whole thing, where like, the people we hired to track a lot of this stuff like for us were MIA, or like, oh, worse than MIA. We had the first team we hired was a team that said that they were the team, right? And then we found out like somewhere in our whatever, that they were not them, like, because I guess they were like taking too long to like respond to stuff or act on stuff or whatever. What happened was they were selling the service of somebody else and saying it was them, and just third partying this other person. Oh, so bad. And we just couldn't coordinate. So they figured that out pretty quickly, and we had to shop around and find the team that we were actually hiring. And turns out there were two other tournament hosts that were offering these services of this one group. And so, holy shit, we had to we figured that out, and then decided to fire the first one, of course, but then also had to tell the other two to quit being jerks. And then we hired the team that they were outsourcing direct, because that's the best thing to do anyway. Yeah, we finally got to the source. Turns out that they weren't very good anyway. Nothing against them, but I think for what we had, what we were trying to achieve, it was asking a lot, and we just couldn't get on the same page. They were good at if you had a mobile game you wanted to highlight, like PUBG or something like that. They were equipped to do some tracking and like some basic spreadsheeting, but damn, doing it across as many, what we were trying to do, and just how many people were involved, it was near impossible to get it coordinated. So we had to do it ourselves, manually a lot of the time, because these games that we were partnering up with didn't have the proper APIs in place to host any of this. And I'm gonna check in again, because I think it's been like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I can't see anybody's comments. I can't see anybody's tips. I can't see anything. I'm streaming right now from my phone, and if you're watching this right now, congratulations. We have a new way of getting to abstract. So just having fun with the options while I can. I am taking a break after dinner and doing some painting, and I am sharing it with you guys and telling my story while I'm doing it, because I can't see you guys, so I figured I'd just practice talking into a camera a little bit. Also, I hear my kids screaming, so there's a good chance I might have to hop off after I get some of these highlights on there. Yeah, this is looking good. So we hired on the team that we thought could manage our tournaments. They couldn't. So we ended up doing it ourselves, and we did it a lot of the wrong ways, learning how to do it. And then we learned how to make it more efficient, and by then it was all over and done. And then we had to, so back to projects not having the proper APIs to track these things for us. I can tell you in a small conversation with any team, any game, if they are ready to host a tournament or not. At this point, I've been hopeful. I've been accommodating. I've been creative, and there's just some things that won't work for when you're trying to host a tournament in a game. And the recipe for, before you go up to, saying yeah, we want to host a tournament for our game, just make sure you have a couple of these key things. Is your game, can I add friends on your game, for one? Do you have a proper friend system where you can add people on the game? This goes hand in hand with, can you create custom lobbies in your game? Outside of clicking ready at the same time, you have to be able to coordinate when two people are supposed to be up against each other, right? So if your game doesn't have at least custom lobbies, no, it's not going to work. Now, beyond custom lobbies, does your game have spectator mode? If your game doesn't have a spectator mode, how are we supposed to watch the two people who are, against each other, right? Well, the workaround we've done in the past for this is, let's say, there's a requirement for everybody who is participating to stream their activity. Well, now your caster has to multi-stream from Twitch. They all have to stream on Twitch, so that means that they have to be capable of running a game. Hardware has to be capable of running the game, streaming the game. They have to be savvy enough to stream. This limits your participant list quite a bit, especially in different countries. So then, the caster also needs to be capable of multi-streaming at least 2 other streams while streaming himself or herself, watching said stream, and sending that to us as a tournament, right? Or for an event, and running the whole rest of the show. So all that has to be possible for this scenario to go on. It's much better if your game has spectator mode, is what I'm getting at. Does your game have spectator mode? Does your game have the capability of capturing information from the game, such as scoring at the end, after action reports? Does it capture that information and allow for us to see it on the back end? Because that's super helpful when we're trying to do asynchronous tournaments where we're not present for the tournament itself. If there's a leaderboard, great. But has it been cheese-proofed? Do we know for a fact that there's no way of multi-accounting it, just because we've seen that too when we say, okay, you have the weekend to get as many points as you can. Well, guilds are going to come together and have, not multi-accounting, but multi-persons using the same account credentials. So on the back end, if you can't see that, we've seen that on the back end where it looked like a player was online for 23 and a half hours for the entire day for 6 days straight, and we're like, that's not possible, my friend. And it is possible with friends. So how do we determine that? Are we able to ban beyond the account? Are we able to ban the GPUs? Serial numbers. This is all good stuff for the fair and fun side of things, because if it's not fair, it's not going to be fun. That's just a general rule. So make sure, let's go back through our list here. Do you have friends? Do you have custom lobbies? Do you have spectator mode? And do you have API which can support validating or verifying fairness? These are all really important for any game who wants to be running a tournament. So that is something I look for when we host tournaments now, to make sure that they hit as many of these marks as possible. Now, if you're wondering why you see a lot of the same games being cast as tournament games all the time in our space, that's because a lot of our games, I'll say our because it's our space, do not have these, they don't meet these parameters. I look at them as, if I was looking at one game, I don't think that's a huge ask of any one game. But I have not worked on I've worked on game team side from a tester perspective. I haven't developed games to the level of the teams that I've worked with. But I have worked alongside. I've had lots and lots of deep conversation around what is capable and what fits the scope and blue. So I do have some understanding. I'm not just coming out of left field. But if you're going to have an online game which has some competitive level of activity, I think these are very little asks for your to-do list. I think they should be top priority. I think they should be, if you want to do any kind of events or tournaments, I think they are a must to have. Otherwise, you're going to be putting any community that's trying to host any kind of event in your space at a huge disadvantage, or possible, it's just not possible. I say that to say, get good games and do your best to make it possible for communities to host events on your behalf. If you've got a game that's so capable in those ways, you cut yourself out of having to be your own event host, right? Because now people like Blizzard Labs or myself who want to host these things, can on their own time. It doesn't have to be, with the team or the team's blessing or set up by the team or any of that. That goes out the window. You don't even need it. You can just let communities run. Which is what we want to do with games. We want to just sit there and have fun. Nobody asks Fortnite for permission to do a tournament. However, if you do want to host a crypto-based, if winnings are on the blockchain, you do want to get. Let me put it this way: you don't want to host any prizes more than $25,000. I think is the cap. I think for crypto it might be less. If you want to host a tournament that has more prizes than $25,000 in Fortnite, you need a tournament license with Fortnite, and they're really picky on who does what, and they really don't like crypto at all. So you're not going to win that ask. It won't work. They will not let you. So we had to get around with it and host a Web 2, Web 3, Web 2 with Web 2 winnings. Like we had to PayPal like 150 people, like, a couple $100 each. It was ridiculous. So just be mindful. Traditional games in our space, they're still, you still got rules to follow. So just be careful there. I've been doing this a little while, and I've seen the good, I've seen the bad, and I enjoy it so much. For anybody popping in, again, I cannot see chat, so I'm going to apologize there. We're just playing around on mobile and seeing if it's possible while I paint some shit, and I think these highlights are coming out pretty nice. You see the extra red? Come on, red. Whoop. It's not focusing for shit. Well, great. Either way, the extra red I'm adding to my little duder and making him look like he pop. But yeah, so where'd we leave off? If you a game, just have some shit in place so the communities can run their own events. Shouldn't be all on you to host your own events. I think you've made it in our space if you can allow people to run with their great ideas on how to make your game competitive. Like Fortnite, just as an example, like nobody runs traditional battle royale Fortnite comps. They run like custom games and shit and custom spaces, and that's fun. If you can do that, you're in a good spot. I'm not saying that every game needs their own custom map builder, but it doesn't hurt. If I have a way to build a game within your game, you're even that much better off than the game that I can run my own lobbies in for a tournament. Because now we can have, a game of hide and seek or tag or something dumb that isn't your game, but also make it, competitive. We used to do that in the sandbox where, these games don't have, these experiences don't have great multiplayer. I think multiplayer support only recently may be in existence. I don't think they've quite gotten there yet. I know it was a big hot topic when I was still there, and when multiplayer support, because that was huge. We made our own multiplayer support. We'd play games like hide and seek and Simon Says. I'm not even kidding. Like, we go into the metaverse spaces and just meet up in a spot in a location, and we would make our own games for giveaways, and we did giveaway streams every other day for different assets or whatever. It was fun. And I know it sounds like, oh, I'm just playing hide and seek with a bunch of douches. Yeah, we were, and but it was cool because we got to experience we got to go around the experience, and you get to find little nooks and crannies that you might not have found just walking in the first 5 minutes. So there was some benefit to doing it, but it was also just fun, just silly fun. It was something anybody could do. Just pop in and meet up at the right time, and there you go. It was a good time. I am trying to put some red in his eyeball. Give me one moment to be quiet. Okay. Oh, man, I did it. Wow, that was hard. And if I go in and try and fix that other eyeball, I'll fuck it up. So I'm not gonna. Hopefully you can see his little red eyeballs. I don't know. You see his little red eyeballs? Yeah, they're pretty cool. All right. Make it possible for me to make a game within your game. That's what I was getting at with that comment. If I can do that, then we entertain ourselves while you're building your game. We have shit to do, and we can occupy ourselves and make our own tournaments and fun. And if you want to support it, just throw some winnings towards the teams and communities that are hosting these things for you. Lizard Labs, we're doing something called Play for Airdrop. So if you have, a lot of people don't have liquid for their game right away. So what do they have? Tokens. And so if you've got tokens and you want to distribute tokens to your players of your game, we can help you with game nights and with... Fuck! Put some red where I didn't want it to go. We can help with game nights, we can help with tournaments, and help distribute those tokens to actual players and not just people who are going to dump your shit. We'll make it hard so that it's not just show up here and claim shit. We want to make it so that, you actually have to do something would be the ideal. And, if we can do that for you, then hopefully you get your token out more. We become invested because anything you're paying us to do that is in your token, and that's cool. But, we're not asking for USDC for that. We're asking for a liquid version of your token, which is great. And we will help you spread the cheer, spread the good word of your ecosystem. That is an exciting little thing we've got going on at Lizard Labs. Please feel free to hit us up on that. Cypress Phoenix is our collab manager. And if you don't know Cypress yet, you're not anybody serious in the space yet, because that dude gets around. No, I'm just kidding. You might be serious and we just don't know you yet. We'd like to know you. Talk to Cypress, talk to me, talk to Lems, Opera, Terrace. We'll help you out. So what else? We just shilled something. That's awkward. We don't do that here. Well, again, I'm streaming from my phone. I want to just prove that it's possible. And if you can see me, type something in chat so I can see that later. And if you tip me, I'll definitely know you were here. But there we go. We did it again. We fucking shilled again. Oh, we're so bad. We're so bad. But we want to prove that this is a capable platform, and I'm very excited for Abstract and everything that they've done. And I just love how Finn is so transparent and open to feedback. Thank you, Finn, for being the win. Finn for the win, everybody. If you don't know that already, then Finn more. But yeah, so it's been fun so far. I have notes. I wasn't sure if I was going to share those notes on stream or not, but it's there's definitely from the streamer side of things much to be. I won't say much. Like I'm streaming from my phone right now because I could make the workaround happen, but it'd be nice if that was a native option. It would be nice if people who chimed into the stream could follow me, so that I'm not rebuilding my fellowship of the Maddox. I like that. That I don't have to rebuild my community base on this platform over and over and over again. That people have a way to know when I'm coming back. A scheduler. It's a nice touch. What else is on my list of things? I want to be able to see my recordings. That's another one. That's a nice to have. Some kind of streamer or creator dashboard where I don't have to. It also looks like I have to make a new stream key every time I want to stream, but I went back to my original stream I just knew the number of the stream I did, and then I went back to it, and then I reopened it and found that stream key. So it looks like it's making a new stream key every time I stream, which is a little awkward, because it means the chats are in different places. It would be nice if it was like, I am stream number blank, like that is my number, forever and ever. I think that would be really nice. I don't know where that fits on your guys' schedule, but that would be for anybody watching and it's like, this guy's just bashing abstract. Well, I am, in a loving, concerned way. I love abstract and I love the folks behind it. What I'm getting at is, though, I think it would be cool. Well, wait. I'm not bashing abstract. I care about this platform. I think it's great for what has happened so far. Finn has shared with me that's where I was going with this. Finn has shared with me this is a V1 of the platform as a whole, and so as a V1, I'm very impressed, and I love how everything is in one place. I love how so much is already so connected, because that's really cool, like being able to play within the apps and explore. Like, I'll go on an exploring day one day soon and like dive in. I've got to wipe my computer today, actually. If it's due for a checkup, and Dr. Maddox has not taken care of his PC in a while, so I'm wiping it clean, and we starting from scratch. Got to go put the new operating system in, and it'll be a good time. I usually do that much more often than I did. I think it was like a year that I haven't done that. I used to do it every like 6 months, and so I'm going to be doing that, so that will help. But once I've got my shit together, I will be exploring some more of the apps and trying to just see what's up. You get some red, and you get some red. There we go. I like how you can explore the apps and sign in with your abstract account, and I think that's fantastic. I like how I can trade, tokens right off the rip like that. I think that's pretty fancy. Let me see if I can get these rivets. Nope, I couldn't do it. We'll just go with it. Oh man, that looks like shit now. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. It just looks like funny dunny. I like so much about all the different things that are going on here, and I want to see more. But from a streamer perspective, I've got like right now, I wouldn't turn off every other. I stream to multiple places typically, but not for the reason that most people do. I stream to multiple platforms because not for like multiple exposure to multiple platforms. Like, I wish. I'm not a huge streamer. I wish that was my reasoning. Nope. My reasoning for multiple platforms is very, very simple. I use Twitter for reach. I use Twitter to like let people know I'm streaming. I use Twitch not at all really lately, but if I use Twitch, it's to reach. I got 20% battery left. I'm gonna have to plug in later, or just hop off in a second. Twitter for reach, let people know I'm actually live from the crypto community. If I was using Twitch, it would be for immortality of videos. Same reason I use YouTube, because the algorithms there aren't pushing me anywhere like onto the top at all. It's more just to save my VODs. Where else am I streaming lately? Twitch, YouTube. That's it. Yeah, it's Twitch and YouTube right now. It's reach and YouTube for VODs. And then I don't even really need to do it to YouTube because I can pull from Restream my recorded videos, and then I can make content from that. But if you want to skip that altogether, just set up your relay buffer, and then you've got 2-minute clips of yourself whenever the fuck you press the button. Like, there's ways around this thing. But, okay, my point is, there's no one platform for me for any particular reason yet. And I could see Abstract being that platform with everything going on here, because it is like one social space away from being an all-encompassing thing. It is like some stream tools away from being that thing. It is some nice to have, thing fangs from that. Like, it's not far off, man. For a V1, this is pretty darn cool. It'd be nice to see mobile support. It'd be nice to see an app. And it'd be nice to see a place to put clips. And it'd be nice for people to be able to clip things like this. And I'm not going to have a recording of any of this. How about that? That sucks dick. This was a really cool stream. So for anybody here, thank you guys for popping through. We just spent 40 minutes. I'm going to try and zoom in on this guy. 40 minutes putting red highlights on my little tech marine here. Golly, you just can't. You can't fucking zoom, can you? You don't want to do it. Well, we just put some highlights on this fucker and, had some fun doing it while telling a story about crypto and Web3 to you good people, you fine people. I just trying something. So if you guys were able to pop through and I see your comment, bless you. You guys are freaking awesome. I hope I didn't bore anybody to death. This was more of a test to see that it was possible. And we'll be doing this more often. So we'll see what happens. But before my phone dies, I will say goodbye. And thanks for everybody who popped in. I appreciate you all. All right. Talk to you soon. Ta-ta for now.